Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, everybody. This is Art on Arkansas. Today, we will be interviewing Amy Morris. So, I'm going to give people a second to tune in. We'll bring Amy on and we'll get this party started. Hope y'all having a good day today. Some things that I did want to talk about before we got started, though. The Arkansas Arts Council, we are still moving forward full force with Poetry Out Loud, and high schools still have a chance to sign up by December 18th. So be sure to make sure you get your schools registered. If you know anybody else that would be interested, be sure you can contact me at drika.morning@arkansas.gov, and you can actually find all my contact information on our webpage, arkansasarts.org. But definitely, if you know any high school students, whether it's a school, homeschool, or any organizations that service high school students, be sure to tell them to get registered and to participate in Poetry Out Loud. So again, I'm super excited about the artist we have today. Her name is Amy Morris. She is a visual artist. So I'm super excited to see what she has to share, and she'll give us a little insight on her background and why she got into the arts and how she values it. So I'll bring her on, and if you all have any questions or comments or anything you want to say, you can be sure to drop it in the comments. Share this video too so that more people can see it. So right now I'm bringing on Amy. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Okay. So hey, Amy. Hey, everybody. This is Amy.
Hello.
Right. And she's a visual artist. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself. So if you could just tell us, your name, your medium, and just how you got started in the arts.
Well, my name is Amy Morris, of course, and I got started in the arts when I was really young. I started out as just a child. My mom would buy me like coloring books and stuff, and instead of coloring in them, I would draw them. Like I would draw the pictures out of the books. So
Oh.
I was a weird child, but I just when I was in the first grade, I won my first art contest, and it was a drawing contest just that the school had, and I won second place. And I just drawed, just all the time. I drawed in class, I drawed in church, I drawed any chance that I could get. That's what I did. And I now my medium now is mostly I paint, but I draw a lot, and it's mostly just graphite, and I love working with charcoal. And
Mm.
I paint in acrylics, and I also paint in oil, but my favorite is acrylic. I just love it. It just dries so fast, and I can just slap it on there if I want. um, but most of what I'm really known for is my portrait drawings.
Mhm.
Everybody just loves my portrait drawings. So that's what I'm known
Yes.
for.
Okay. Do you actually remember what you drew in the first contest you won?
Yes, I do. It was Johnny Appleseed. I drew the apples and a tree, and I did his face on his little stick figure body, but I actually did really
Wow.
good on the apples, getting the apples looking good in the tree. For a first grader, I did very well, but I had used coloring pencils, and I had colored it all in, and I mean I had the detail in there. But
Right.
mhm.
As a first grader. So, I mean, it was basically your destiny, you know?
Yeah, that
Look at you being in alignment. Okay, so how has art impacted your life?
Um, art has consumed my life. Art is my life. I mean, it's always been a part of me since when I was really little. Like I said, I was always drawing, and even before I was drawing, I was pouring my sister's makeup out on her bed and trying to paint with it. And it's just who I am. Art, it's my release. It's my joy.
Mm.
Um, it's what calms me down and just centers me.
Wow.
But that's it.
Wow. Yeah. So, and I know I told you I would kind of probably branch off with some of these
Mhm.
questions, but I'm interested in knowing, So you said it's a release, and it just it's very transformative art for you. So, do you have a recurring theme in your art that you see yourself play out a lot?
Um, I do a lot of landscapes, and it just
Mhm.
um, the water. It's always water for some reason with me. It's
Mhm.
either the ocean or rivers or some sort of water. Just I don't know. It just calms me and just brings me some peace. And that's probably the most recurring theme I have in my art. It's just the water.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, and I should have asked you right before this, but did you have any like teachers or anybody significant that stood out in your life that really encouraged you to keep going?
Um, as a child, my family was really supportive of my art. Anytime
Mhm.
I would start drawing and I would have a question, I could go to my dad and say, "What do you think about this?" And he drew when he was younger, so he would try to tell me, "Yeah, fix this right here, fix the chin a little bit or the ear." And my sisters and my brother has been really supportive, and they just push me. And every time I've had an art show or every time I've done anything with it, they've always backed me. And it's
Oh,
really
that's
great to
beautiful.
have a support system. My husband now is really supportive, and he's everywhere I go, everything I do, he's a great man. So he's super
No, that's
supportive.
awesome. I definitely love that. You definitely have to be encouraged on this art journey. You know, a lot of times people get discouraged from pursuing art. You
Hmm.
know, they always say, "Oh, we'll have a plan B," or people literally think it's um, not something that you can live off of. And I really like the fact that artists are. I feel like artists these days are being highlighted more in that myth of not being able to survive on your art. I'm glad that we're demystifying that and making it a thing of the past, because I think art is everywhere, and if you really just be very strategic and smart about how you stream revenue from the art that you do, then you definitely can make it work.
Yeah.
So, of course. So, my next question would be, what are some of the highlights of your career?
Um, my main, let's see, for this year, I was chosen for the Arkansas Progressive Artist or Women's Artist here in Arkansas. And they chose one of my artworks they had like a big display on the side of a building in Riverfront Drive where they projected the artworks on the side of the buildings. And I was actually
Oh, wow.
chosen as one of their artists this year. And one of my drawings were projected on the side and it was like all four sides of the building had my artwork projected on it. And that was a great moment for me, just seeing that many people uh, getting to witness my art and getting it out there.
Mhm.
Um, I just got out of a show with the Bradbury Art Museum here in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and their Radius show. I was in it for another drawing. Of course, it was portrait drawing. And the Women's Exchange in Memphis, I do a lot of stuff with them. I'm in their gallery, I do their shows, and I really love working with them. They're really supportive of, especially women in the arts. I
Mhm.
know being in the arts for anybody is a struggle because, like you said, it's really hard to make a living off of art. But for women, for some reason, I believe it is a little harder. But
Mhm.
I really like the stuff they do there, so I'm really involved with them. Um, I've done shows with Hardy, Arkansas, the Ozark um, Art Gallery up there. Rialto Gallery in Morrilton. Morrilton has gave me a lot of support in that town, and I have
Mhm.
really displayed in their city hall, their chamber of commerce. Walmart in Morrilton actually had me display a work for donation to the Children's Hospital.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I donate to them for the Children's Hospital when I can. And Integrity Bank in Pocahontas has actually had me display. And I have a permanent display at Hall Law Firm in Walnut Ridge. So that's basically most of my highlights of my career. It's just when a door opens, I try to go. That is my thing. When a door opens, I try to just
Yeah,
just roll with it.
definitely. Right, you definitely got to take advantage of those opportunities. So, I mean, that's very smart.
Hmm.
So, you really displayed in a lot of different places. That's really beautiful.
Hmm.
Getting your work in front of people. I think that'd be the biggest thing for artists too. It's like visibility. Like we have a lot of cool artists who do cool things, but nobody gets to see it.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
nice that things are displayed. Yeah, that you got them displayed in so many places. Um, Now, I think I probably told you I'm the arts and education manager. So I mean, I think I always thought that art was important in education and academics. I think it definitely should be a required part of any schooling. So I wanted to get your views on how important do you think art is in academics?
Oh, I really believe it is important in academics. Um, Example, when I was in college, there was a lot of times my classes would stress me out so bad, and I could go into art class, and it was just like it was a release. It was just a break in my day where it would give my brain enough break where I could just keep pushing in my other classes as well as art, and it would just, I, it's hard to explain it, but it would just, it would help. It would help. And I believe that, art is culture and it keeps our culture alive. And um,
Mm-hmm.
it is very, very important in education.
Right. So growing up, do you feel like there was enough emphasis on the arts when you were growing up
Um,
in
in
schools?
schools, no. I grew up in a very small town. We had a little bitty school, and art was once a week thing, and it was whatever craft or draw whatever picture you wanted. It wasn't really, I think they could have done more, especially for the kids,
Right.
and but it wasn't.
Right.
I think, yeah. Now maybe it's got better. I mean, my kids have better projects now, so maybe it's got better now. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Paragould, Arkansas, but my school was actually Stanford Elementary, and it's actually like it was a little bitty school outside of Paragould, and I mean maybe 100 kids tops in this whole school.
Yeah.
So, um,
Wow.
but that was my elementary school, and then I graduated from Delaplane High School, which wasn't very much bigger. It was like maybe 100 students. So yeah, our art,
Oh wow.
yeah, it wasn't big schools at all. My class that I graduated
Well,
with
well,
was like 22 people.
wow. So y'all all know
Oh
each
yes,
other.
everybody knows each other here. we,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. So, um, and where you live now? Did I heard you say Jonesboro? Is that where you living now?
No, I actually I live between Jonesboro and Paragould now, so I'm outside of Jonesboro.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm close. I'm close.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And my next question would be, what advice would you give any upcoming artist?
Um, I would say, just knock on every door you can knock on and put yourself out there
Mhm.
and don't be afraid to show your artwork, even if it's different, even if nobody's ever seen anything like that before or anything. Put yourself out there, try to get it out to as many people as possible. And if you get an opportunity, say yes, take it. Just try every opportunity
Mhm.
that you can get because it's not going to hurt. You may get surprised.
Right.
You may be surprised at how far
Right.
you can
Exactly.
actually go.
Oh, and speaking of that, like of encouraging people to put themselves out there. I know a lot of things. Well, one of the biggest things artists struggle with is like pricing their work and their capabilities. As a poet. So, and I don't know if you've ever dealt with this issue or if you've like solved the issue and you just know your worth and your price is your price. But, um, what was that process like for you trying to put a price on what you do as an artist?
Oh man, that was hard. It was hard. I'm constantly I try to stick with now like if it's this size, if it's a portrait in this size, it's this price, and if, a portrait and a little bigger, it goes to this price. And if there's two people in it, I charge a little bit more. But when I was starting out, it was like, hey, whatever you can give me, I'm fine with. And now I'm like, okay, I know how much time this takes. I know how much work I put
Mhm.
into it. I know what this is worth. So I
Right.
know what I charge now, but when I was starting, and I still had people like my husband, he'll still tell me, he'll say, Amy, you need to charge a little bit more than what you're charging. I'm fine right where I'm at, but I still struggle with it, especially when I go to different galleries and or different areas like Memphis, and I had to adjust my price ranges between Memphis and Jonesboro because it's just a different audience and different.
Mhm.
You basically just have to
Yeah.
go piece by piece, and
Right.
yeah,
Oh, that's definitely true. Trying to actually, keep your price where it is so you feel valued as an artist, but also thinking about, how can you be flexible to where it does not, make you feel like you're giving all yourself away for nothing.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a journey. But do you have any upcoming projects coming? Anything new you're working on that you would like to share or talk about?
Right now, the I'm just trying to build. I have some upcoming shows in Memphis this next year, and I am trying to build my inventory because over, with everything with COVID and everything, I've really been staying at home more, so that's helped me build my inventory. So I'm not traveling as much, but that's basically what I'm doing now. I'm just painting a lot. I'm trying to work on my painting of portraits at the moment. I can draw them out of this world, but when it comes to painting people, it's a little harder, and I'm working on basically my
Right.
skin tones and everything right now. So that's sort of my project that
Yeah.
I'm doing. But I have some shows coming up in Memphis. This It's supposed to be in January is one of my shows
Mhm.
that's coming up. So and there it's going to be mostly drawings, but that's what I'm working
Okay.
on.
Oh, so will it be a solo exhibit?
No, it's going to be a group exhibit,
No.
and it's just with the Arkansas or the sorry, the Memphis Artist Society. They
Okay.
just do a it's like a street show basically that they do every year in
Okay.
January, and that's what I'll be doing with
So
them.
that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds awesome. And we did have Marcus. He left a comment. He said, finally got a chance to catch the live during a lunch break. Okay, I'm glad you made it, Marcus. And one last question I did have. I really want to know, like, who are some of your favorite artists? They can be Arkansas based or
Well,
global, worldwide.
of course, I love Picasso and you know, Michelangelo and some of the greatest, but locally I have one artist that I like follow, and she probably doesn't even know it, but her name is Cheryl Moore. And her work is just so inspiring. She's always happy. She's always posting videos of her work, and her painting techniques is just amazing to me. And I just look up to her a lot. But I believe she's out of Hot Springs, is I believe where she's actually located at. But I follow her page on Facebook. Every time she puts a new picture up, I have to look at it. Sherry is on here, and she does some amazing work, and she's one of the people that I follow a lot. And but that's my
Yes.
two locals that I really do follow. But they just inspire me. They're always being so creative and trying new techniques, and usually it's like multimedia techniques, but I love it. I
Right.
love it.
Shit, exactly too. I mean, I love it. Art is so complex. So many different mediums to explore. We have the performing arts and visual.
Hmm.
It's just so much to indulge in. So I'm definitely glad that I got to interview you on today. I definitely encourage everybody that's watching to share this video and be sure to follow Amy to keep up with her. If you look at the event page, our Art on Arkansas event page, you'll see the links to her work. But Amy, if you could let the people know how they can follow you or see more of your work
Uh,
and what you offer.
well, right now I mostly just work off my Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com Phoenix Star LLC, and I should have it on the page, and that's my main one. I'm working on a website. It is not up and running yet, but it will be soon. I'm fairly new to all this. I mean, I've been trying this past year really to put myself out there more and to get more done. So my webpage will be coming up. It just isn't up at the moment. But everybody can get a hold of me on Facebook, and they can see some of my work and some of my drawings and my paintings. I post everything I do on there, so and they
Mhm.
can message me or whatever.
Okay. Oh, and also, do you do commission work? I was wondering about
Yes, I
that.
do. I do commission work.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so you all heard that. Be sure to check out Amy. I did tag her in the title of this video, so you could easily tap that and stalk her to see what all she has going and to keep up with her art. So again, thank you for tuning in. Marcus, good afternoon to you too. And I did want to give one last shout out. I found Amy by way of her husband. I think that's just so beautiful to have supportive people in your corner that will reach out on your behalf and let other people know, hey, my wife is dope. Check her out and bring her on. And I mean, I'm so glad you had good work because I didn't want to have to go back and be like, sorry, I had somebody else for this week, but you're actually good. So I just want to say that that's really beautiful, and I just wish you well on your art journey, and just keep being great. And if you ever need anything or any help, just reach out. And I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Bye.
Oh, did he tune in?
Yeah, he did. He did. He waved at you.
Look, now you'll have to go back and rewatch it,
That.
Josh.
All right.
Okay,
Bye.
have a good one.